Take, make, dispose. That's how a linear economy works. It's not how we work. We believe that what we make should be collected, recycled, and made again. It's good business that's good for the environment, good for the economy, good for our communities, and good for the world, leading the way towards a circular economy. Mpact.
Everybody, and thank you for taking the time to join us here the last day and a half. For me, it's been really heartening to see how people are willing to get out, to engage, and to see the speakers that have come here and really inspired us to not only think about the things we're doing, but about the things we need to do going forward. And I must say, in preparing for today, I wondered what would be the best thing to speak about, because you've had a lot of people talking about, as experts, about many things. And we've been hosted here, of course, by our plastic containers colleagues. And I thought I should try and tell you a little bit about the broader Mpact group in just 15 minutes. And that's always difficult. People say, I'll tell you quickly, and then they're 45 minutes later, they're still rolling on. So I'm going to do my best. You could time me to tell you about the Mpact group and what we're about beyond just the plastic containers business in 15 minutes. So Mpact is the largest paper and plastic packaging and recycling business in Southern Africa. In 2021, the group generated revenue of 12.4 billion rand, with approximately 75% of that coming from the paper business and 25% from the plastics business. In the paper business, we collect waste paper to make paper packaging. Our paper packaging products include corrugated boxes and paper bags for export fruit, home deliveries, and retail applications, among many others. This forms the basis of our integrated business model, which gives effect to the circular economy that you would have heard about in the last day and a half. In the plastics business, we make plastic packaging for food, beverages, personal care, and home care products, much of which is collected after use by Mpact Recycling to be processed and made into new products. We also make returnable plastic bins and crates, which you're all very familiar with, which we collect from customers at the end of their life, chip them up, and process them to make new bins and crates, thereby closing the loop on plastic packaging as well. Besides closing the loop through our integrated business model, we've also developed other systems of advantage which position the group well in the markets in which we serve. Take, for example, fruit packaging. We produce corrugated boxes that you'll see on the left. We produce jumbo bins, which you see some examples of here. We produce other boxes that are used like punnets, for example. We produce plastic punnets, paper punnets. We produce paper grape bags. We produce lightweight folded crates that you'd see out of plastic here for the grape sector, the avo sector. And we are very much integrated into the supply into the fruit sector. And so you might ask, well, how does that benefit the company? Because we actually don't go, as a rule, we don't go to customers and sell them a basket of these products, because there's no benefit in the manufacture of these products in the way you sell them. And we want our salespeople to be experts in the areas that they operate, not generalists. But what that does give us is a great insight into the sectors in which we operate. So in the fruit sector, as an example, when the trend and global interest was moving away from plastic punnets, for example, which in my view are still the best punnet that you can use for a variety of applications, we saw that customers were looking for paper punnets. And so our colleagues in the paper business developed a punnet that they could offer to customers. And now every container of fruit grapes, for example, that goes out has at least one pallet of paper-based punnets in that container. We then also saw the opportunity for paper bags, more for the local market, but also sold into Europe in the same way. We saw the opportunity for making crates for the avo sector. We saw the opportunity for making bulk bins to export fruit to Europe in the bulk bins, which we then pick up in Europe from the customers and resell them in Europe. So that insight comes from supplying many avenues into that sector, for example. And that we call in our business a system of advantage. Take another example like recycling. We make wheelie bins. And for those of you who don't know, I don't know if it was covered the day that I wasn't here, each wheelie bin has got a little chip in it. We do on-site waste management, which John spoke about yesterday, at many of our customers, many of our retailers across the country. We are able to report to them their carbon footprint and all the environmental aspects of their business. We are able to do what somebody spoke about earlier in the wheelie bin market, where we're able to say to a municipality, you're not charging the right number of people for the wheelie bins that are in the market. So we've seen in municipalities, the municipalities charging for 300,000 wheelie bins, and when we go and look through our chip system, there's probably 400,000 wheelie bins on the ground, and the municipality is losing a revenue opportunity. We're able to sell that in our business. And Alliance, who some of you may have met earlier, has started a data business where we are offering this data solution to municipalities across the country to generate revenue that was otherwise a cost in their business. Previously, they're buying a wheelie bin, it was a cost. Now we're talking to the CFO. He says, how am I going to generate more revenue in the business? Our oldest operation has been around for over 100 years. It's based in Port Elizabeth. It's Earth number 5 in Port Elizabeth, as a matter of interest. And Mpact has been recycling in South Africa for over 40 years. We have a well-established track record as a leader in extended producer responsibility, developed long before so-called EPR came into focus globally. Over the years, the group has shown tremendous resilience, firmly anchored in our purpose of providing our customers with innovative, sustainable packaging, giving effect to the circular economy through our integrated business model, and making a difference in the communities where we operate. More recently, we have successfully navigated the challenging business environment. In 2021, our group revenue increased to 12.4 billion rand, and we also had very pleasing increases in operating profit, notwithstanding a very difficult circumstances. We've also continued to invest in our business when others are a bit more cautious in the current environment. Our strategy is based on 3 key pillars: customer focus, leading market positions, and a focus on performance. Put differently, and into the language we use every day, these are about putting customers first, being the best at what we do, and making a decent profit decently. A phrase we borrowed from Phil Knight, because everybody makes a profit. Gangsters make profit, but they don't do it decently. So we want to do it in a way which is responsible. Our strategic pillars form the basis for evaluation of opportunities across the group when we invest. Listed under each of these pillars, you will see the criteria we use to evaluate opportunities and direct our investments and energy and other resources across the group. We are fortunate to be in sectors of the economy that are growing and which to some extent are less dependent for their success only on consumer spending in South Africa over the short to medium term. And many of those things you would have heard about here. Take, for example, packaging for exported fruit, which is projected to grow well above GDP over the next 5 to 10 years, based on the current new plantings already in the citrus industry, for example. We are benefiting from the move towards more sustainable packaging, which is exactly what we produce. Another example of a growth sector is wheelie bins, which are sold to municipalities that I mentioned just now, for refuse removal. Many of you may not know that up to 40% of households in South Africa are still not adequately serviced with refuse removal, which is a key objective for municipalities across the country. And we are the largest producer of wheelie bins in South Africa. Then we have a growth area that many of you will be familiar with, that is convenience shopping and e-commerce, which are driving the need for paper bags and boxes for home deliveries. Not only do we make the bags and the boxes, but we also make the paper that is used to make those bags and boxes. But that's not all. That paper is made from the waste paper that we collect across the country through our recycling business, often from the wheelie bins that we also make, thereby closing the loop and driving sustainability. During 2021, Impact's board approved over 700 million rand in new capital investment projects to take advantage of these growth opportunities. And we are investing more. This year we will be approving more significant projects for growth, not just for sustaining our business. These will also ensure the resilience and sustainability of our operations. These projects include new facilities, new technology, plant, equipment, and solar power. And some of them are summarized in these slides, which I'm not going to spend too much time on, but I will just talk briefly about them. So this slide, I don't know if Loki, did you present this slide yesterday? No. So this is a new business that I did show at the last conference that we have started up in Gauteng, in Germiston, an area called Castleview. It's in this plastic containers business. It's going to have eventually 15, it'll produce 16,000 tons of converted product, bins and crates like you see here. It'll have a fully automated warehouse, the first of its kind in South Africa, similar to what you've seen in the presentation this morning. It's going to be state-of-the-art. It's already producing. Ruben and the colleagues there have been very busy over the last months, and something that we're very excited about. The next one is in the same business, in our plastic containers business. This is the expansion of our recycling capabilities in plastic containers, where I think it was shared earlier that we recycle up to 6,000 tons at the moment. We're looking to double that. So we've already commissioned a new building, as you can see here, new recycling facility basically for these products. So we are able now to say to customers, as we've done in the past, but in a greater way, that we'll take your bins back at the end of their lives and we'll convert them into new bins for you then to use. And you'll see each of those products links directly to the purpose I mentioned earlier. These are not all dreams and just in space. This is a facility in KZN, which is now just completed in this last week. 150 million rand investment in John's business, a recycling business, to increase our footprint for recycled material in KZN, close to one of our paper mills, but also handling plastic polymers and plastic recycling that comes through the various market channels. This is our distribution center in our recycling business up in Gauteng. Here's some investments in our corrugated business and paper converting business, just showing that, with the growth that we're seeing across the sectors, there are many opportunities for us to capitalize on, and we need to make sure that we're aligned with our customers and able to meet their requirements as their demand increases. There's our printing capabilities in our debt pack business. That's the business that makes a Checkers 60/60 bag. We make a number of bags, KFC-type packaging. We make charcoal bags, so increased printing capabilities for increased use of paper-based products. This is a plant at one of our paper mills that produces sodium sulfate that's used in the detergent industry, a byproduct of paper manufacturing. A huge investment in the government's prime black industrialist project, because we've got black industrialist partners here, 2 former colleagues, and together we've spent 280 million rand getting this plant going. So in a time when people are very pessimistic, or we're very optimistic about what we can achieve through a number of self-help initiatives, including renewable energy, where we've invested already in 5 megawatts of power. By the end of this year, we'll have 10 megawatts of solar power. By 2027, we'll have 25 megawatts of solar power, which will be half of our group's consumption in terms of energy. And then, of course, in people, we've got a bursary scheme where we've already seen 48 fully funded bursaries go through there of children of our employees, and they're not limited in what they study. We allow them to study anything. We've already got our first 3 doctors come out of that program. So the investments don't only go into plant and equipment, but go into our community and our environment as well. Innovation, as Valeska mentioned earlier, is a cornerstone of our business. Our investments in research and development allow us to identify new ways to meet customers' packaging needs, improve their offerings, and contribute to the circular economy. Our focus areas include developing our systems of advantage, some of which I've mentioned today, packaging for the circular economy, and new products for existing and new markets. Our efforts in this regard have been widely recognized through a number of external awards. Mpact received 7 product design awards at the 2021 IPSA Gold Pack Awards, including the prestigious Gold Pack Trophy, recognizing the product in the middle, Petzorb, as the overall winner. A further 2 awards were also received from the South African Plastic Recycling Organization, for which we are very grateful. The group is also first to market with paper alternatives to single-use plastic fruit punnets that I mentioned earlier. Many of you will be familiar with our fresh-packed punnets, which have been enthusiastically adopted across the markets and by all of our customers and consumers with leading retailers in South Africa. So if you see tomatoes in a paper punnet in some of the premium outlets, you'll know that it's made by Mpact, because I think, as far as I know, we're the only ones making those at the moment in South Africa. In conclusion, the reason for our existence is you sitting here, our customers. And I want to take this opportunity this afternoon to thank you sincerely for entrusting us to provide you with innovative, smarter, sustainable solutions, built on the group's integrated business model, which is uniquely focused on closing the loop in paper and plastic packaging, contributing to the circular economy and benefiting society for us all. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. Please travel home safely and enjoy the remaining parts of the conference. Thank you very much.